Welcome to the Transportation Sales Tax Program, also known as Roadwise. I'm Cheryl Harleston. Today we have a very interesting program for you. We're going to be talking with women who are in engineering. As a matter of fact, they work with the county's Transportation Sales Tax Program in a department called Transportation Development. And these are three women. There's one other, or maybe several others, I'm not sure. But we brought you today those who literally work in this area and have experience in roads and civil engineering, generally speaking. So I hope that you'll enjoy our program and stay with us. It's going to be really good. And if you know a young lady who's interested, or a young man, but specifically a young woman, because there are so few in this area, let them know about this program, and maybe they too can get into this kind of work. I'd like you to meet my guest. Sitting next to me is Molly Lemon, and she's with the Charleston County Transportation Development Department, and I won't repeat that again, all of them with the exception of Gaynell Whittleship, who is sitting right next to Molly. She is her own business. You're a subcontractor with Baker LPA, right?
Correct.
And so we're going to really be interested in hearing your side of things, because you know what it's like to get out there and hustle the business, don't you? And you don't have the county paying you, but you must depend upon yourself. Also, a very dear friend of mine, Devry DeToma, and Devry has been in civil engineering for a number of years. She has an interesting story to tell about women in this work, and I'm sure all of us will have some fun talking about what goes on in this profession. Welcome, ladies. It's nice having you here.
Thank you.
Women in engineering, civil engineering. Well, first of all, what is civil engineering? Who can tell me that? Would you like to, Molly?
I'll let someone else answer.
Okay, you want to tell me what is civil engineering?
Civil engineering can be anything from soil analysis
Yeah.
to building roads to building structures to managing stormwater to working at a sewer plant. It's very widespread.
Are all three of you civil engineers?
Yes.
Now, there's something else that goes behind your name once you get additional information, and that's a PE. Now, what is a PE?
PE stands for Professional Engineers. It's a designation that we get once we become licensed in our field. It takes a number of years to become licensed, of course, the education, but it also takes a 4-year internship and 2 8-hour exams.
Wow. Does this mean that everybody should do this in order to get higher pay, more status, more jobs? Is that necessary in this work? Devry?
In our field, I think it is, especially for Gaynell, who is a private contractor. I'm sure she has to sign and seal plans that she designs all the time, so that would be something that would be required.
With the Transportation Sales Tax Program and the Department of Transportation Development, what do you do on a day-to-day basis? Are you assigned projects, or what kind of work do you do?
Well, I am a project manager, and I do review plans from the very beginning of conceptual plans all the way through the full design. So the professional engineering license is definitely a necessity to be able to review those plans properly.
Now, Devry, you too work in the same department, right, as Molly, and you are also a project manager.
Right.
And that means that you are assigned a project periodically, large, small?
We're assigned to projects. Molly and I basically do the same thing. We're assigned small projects and large projects. We do small allocation projects, which are the smaller, costly projects, and then we have bonded projects, which are multi-million-dollar projects, and we manage some of both. So
Now, Gaynell, though, you're in a management situation as a subcontractor.
Correct.
And so what does it mean to be a civil engineer who's responsible for managing or helping to manage projects that are or belong to the county of Charleston?
Well, I've been involved in a lot of project management that is involved with managing other engineering firms who design the projects. And therefore, we do things like manage the schedules and the budget and keep track of the progress of the project. But I also do subsurface utility coordination. I get into looking for what's already in the ground, what may have to move, what may have to be just offset or relocated in order that when the project goes out to construction, it'll be, full go, as opposed to having scheduled delays because of running into existing utilities.
How does someone in your position assist these ladies in their work? I mean, they literally get out there and they're responsible for making sure this project is built and built on time, rain or shine, I guess. But how do you assist as a part of a management company that comes into the county, and not only with the county of Charleston, this is happening all over the country where you have managing agencies or organizations. What specifically is your role, and what do you hope to accomplish when you come into something like this?
Well, we work as a team,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a number of us that work as a team, and each one knows the portion of the project that they're in charge of. We have regular meetings, and we have status meetings. We keep records, and we make reports, and we keep each other in knowledge through emails, communicating. Yeah.
And so you use your experience to assist them. They use their experience to further the project, and so it works pretty smoothly, doesn't it? And so would you be able to handle this without a management company?
Well, I think as the project manager, that's our role, and we rely on Gaynell and the consultants to be able to interpret our needs to get the design out.
Has that been helpful over the years?
Absolutely.
And so that's why the county has hired, I guess, a management company. This is a big thing. Working on roads and highway systems and allocations projects such as sidewalks and bicycle trails and all those kinds of things, that's no laughing matter. That's pretty big stuff. How did you and why did you, let me start with you, Molly. Why did you choose this area of work? You could have been a nurse.
I could I think I fell into it because my father was a surveyor, so I was I grew up knowing about engineering, and then was very good at math, so it was just something that I did follow through when I went to college. Okay,
so you need to be good at math. If you have young ladies listening to you right now, you got to be good at math.
I think it would definitely help.
Because most of these roads and highways, I learned later on, require some expertise in mathematics, and especially, geometry, or what sort of discipline?
Getting through school is all math, but once you get out of school, I'd say you probably use 20% or less of what you actually learn in school.
Were all of you good in, or are all of you good in math?
I think you would have to be an engineer.
And I want to find out when we come back from the break why these ladies selected this field when there's only, out in the whole country, out of all of the people who do this work, 10% are women, 90% are men. We'll be right back.
Hey, Charleston County, let's recycle. Charleston County makes it easy. Recycling glass, aluminum cans, steel and aerosol cans, plastics 1 to 7. We recycle them all. And don't forget paper. If it tears, recycle it. Even cardboard. Recycle at work, at home, and at play. So whether you're using the 2 curbside bin system and separating, or the all-in-one roll cart system, keep recycling. Brought to you by Charleston County Environmental Management.
Welcome back to the Transportation Sales Tax Program. I'm Cheryl Harleston. We're talking about the transportation sales tax that the residents of Charleston County passed a number of years ago in hopes that we would be able to repair our road system, in hopes that we would be able to build bridges and whatever else was needed to improve the transportation movement in our community. And it seems like it's working. And in addition to that, we have women who are working in this area, and that's always a subject that I enjoy talking about. And my guests today, sitting next to me, are Molly Lemin, and she is a civil engineer. Sitting next to her is Gaynell Whittleship, and she too is a civil engineer. As a matter of fact, she owns her own business. And then there's Devery Datoma, who has been assigned to a number of projects that we've worked with her on. As a matter of fact, we've worked with all of them as public relations for the Charleston County Transportation Sales Tax Program. Again, it's good having you here, ladies. When we went to the break, I said to you, why did you choose this? The math must be hard, and that's a big part of it. And I'm just going to go around the table and start with Devery and ask you, why this? There are only 10% of the people in this area that are women. The other 90% are men, and you're in a man's world.
I always liked math when I was in high school, and so I knew I wanted to do something with math, so I went into engineering. I actually started out in chemical engineering, and I did an internship in a plant, hated working in a plant. So then I transferred to civil engineering, and I liked civil engineering. You stay in the office most of the time, but you do get to get out in the field and get outside, which I do like doing. I don't want to sit at a desk every day, day in, day out. Right. So I do like that part, and I do like what I do. So
and I'm going to come to each of you too, but I have got to throw this in. There are a lot of specialists out there who are male and who are working in this area. But you get to boss them around. The guys, you get to, if this is your project and you're the manager of the project, true? You're the manager of a project when it's assigned to you, and you get to boss these guys. Does that feel good?
It doesn't feel, it feels fine. It would be the same either way. It might be easier. I would say we would probably all agree sometimes working with men than women. I think sometimes it is easier.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Not
Why?
as much drama usually.
Oh, really? We women are still complaining, even out there building roads and highways, huh? Why did you choose this area, Gaynell?
Well, actually, I started out, I enjoyed drawing. And I thought I wanted to be a cartoon artist. And then I got in junior high school and I took a drawing class. And I saw that I was pretty good at drawing objects as well. Well, as I went on in high school, it happened so that my drawing instructor was married to my basketball coach. And one day my basketball coach says to me, "Gaynell, you're good at math and you're good at drawing. You should be an engineer." Sound pretty good to me. No, that came from a woman.
Oh, she knew.
It sounded more like an order than a suggestion. So I did that. And we had a drawing class in high school in 11th and 12th grade. And it took a little convincing, but I was allowed to transfer to that predominantly male class.
Yeah. Whoa.
And I ended up with a senior internship at an engineering firm.
Wonderful. And you're still at it?
Yes.
How many years has this been?
Oh, should I tell?
Yeah.
Quite a long time.
Is that quite a long time? You don't want to give away your age. Why for you, Molly? Why did you get into this?
Well, like I said, my father was a surveyor, so I was around, and surveying is a discipline of civil engineering, so I was around civil engineering growing up. And like with them, I was also good at math and enjoyed math, so I knew it was something that I did want to go into.
With this math, math keeps coming up. What do you do with math? I mean, what do you have to measure? Or I see these huge roadways and bridges and intersections and all. What does math have to do with that?
Well, actually, math is an expression of our physical world. And math pretty much defines how our world works. And so in order to solve the problems within our world, you have to use the math to do it.
If I am going around a corner and it's kind of narrow, was that designed by an engineer who knew math or didn't know math?
Who knew math?
But math is involved.
Yes.
Yeah.
All standards are math-based for road engineering.
And what kind of math? I was trying to name that earlier, but I can't think of which ones.
You said geometry. There's a lot of geometry.
Is
there's
involved.
A lot of geometrics involved with civil engineering and how intersections are designed.
Right. And so all of you have gone as far as you can go in education with this field. Or can you go further?
We could definitely go further. In fact, we're always learning. There are education requirements that just go along with maintaining our license. So we're always learning.
Oh, do you have to update those licenses periodically?
Every 2 years.
Every 2 years? And so what happens? You take another math test?
You have to take 30 hours of professional development hours every 2 years in order to renew your license.
And if you don't do that well, what happens?
Well, it's not necessarily tests you have to take. Some instances could be a test that you take online to earn PDHs, and others it could be just going to a training seminar.
When we went to the break earlier, I said that I had read some material on this area, on public roads, and saw where 10% of women, or 10% represents the number of women who are in this field, and 90% would be male. I mean, how does that make you feel, or do you care?
I actually find that statistic kind of surprising because I feel like there's more women engineers than 10%. So it's kind of shocking to find that out.
And what are we going to do about it? Or is there anything that can be done about it? I mean, should young women be made interested in this field, or is it the educational system that needs to introduce them to this kind of work? Should women like you be speaking to young women? I mean, or do you have your hands full and you can only do what you're doing right now?
I think it would help for them to be exposed to women in engineering. When I was in high school, we were taken to places like manufacturing companies, and we were able to see what they did and get an idea of whether or not we would be interested in doing that thing. And we were also taken to places like RCA, where we were able to put together a calculator and take it home, things that piqued our interest, trying to get us into science and math fields. I'm sure today that there are a number of activities that young people are involved in our high school to try to push them in that direction, but it helps to know that there's someone already there that you can identify with. So if they saw other women in engineering, I believe it would help.
Let me give you something to chew on while we take the next break. In construction and building inspectors, there are 93,000 men and 9,000 women. In heavy vehicle and mobile equipment service technicians and mechanics, there are 217,000 men and 2,000 women. However, as drivers, sales workers, and truck drivers, there are 3,388 versus 167 women. So now we're starting to get up there now. Drivers, sales workers, and truck drivers. The numbers of women are just a little bit higher. Construction managers, there are a few more women, about 10% of the men that are doing this work. It sounds like somebody's got to do something here and do it quick. When 53% of the population of this country happens to be female. And with the jobless rate that we have in South Carolina and around the country, it seems like this is not a bad field, especially if you know mathematics. I'm going to talk to you some more about wages, wage equality when we come back from the break, so stay with me. We'll be right back.
Hey, Charleston County, let's recycle. Charleston County makes it easy. Recycling glass, aluminum cans, steel and aerosol cans, plastics 1 to 7. We recycle them all. And don't forget paper. If it tears, recycle it. Even cardboard. Recycle at work, at home.